Where is the power to alter the constitution at all?
No,
if your argument is right,
no,
then once the Constituent Assembly in 1956-57 takes its decision, there is no power to change any provision of the Constitution in relation to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. That really speaking, Article 370 had continued to operate even thereafter. Therefore, it would not be correct to postulate that Article 370 achieves its life, and what is a temporary provision really assumes a state of permanence. It works itself out and achieves its purpose once the Constituent Assembly for the state of Jammu and Kashmir has completed its task. Then where was the occasion thereafter to issue constitutional orders post 1957?
That's for 371 to extend from time to time any amendments. Because there were many provisions of constitution which may not have been made applicable, or many laws which may not have been applicable.
But if you see the proviso to D refers to other provisions of the Constitution, which will apply subject to such modifications. Then matters which are referable to the IOA require only consultation.
Yes.
All other provisions of the Constitution require the require the concurrence. That's the second proviso.
Right.
Then the sub-article 2, clause 2 says, if the concurrence has been given before the Constituent Assembly has given its opinion, then it has to be placed before the Constituent Assembly for its opinion and for its concurrence. So your whole argument is that Article 370 has now worked itself out once the Constituent Assembly completed its task. But that would be belied at the least by constitutional practice, because even after 1957, there were orders which were issued, constitutional orders, progressively modifying the provisions of the Constitution in relation to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Which means that really speaking, Article 370 had continued to operate even thereafter. Therefore, it would not be correct to postulate that Article 370 achieves its life, and what is a temporary provision really assumes a state of permanence in the Indian constitutional fabric.
Lord, may I respect?
Because then there was no question of any constitutional orders being issued progressively from 1954 onwards or 1958 thereafter.
Refers to those decisions which were taken prior to its constitution. So to that limited extent, Constituent Assembly's approval was sought for. But subsequently, once the Constituent Assembly goes,